Universal Broadcasting Network.
'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of hell.
A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at ubnradio.com.
Live from Sunset Gower Studios, The Amazing Hour with Joanne O'Brien and Sabrina Johnson.
There's a power here within me. There's a strength that's deep inside. If I'm willing to be willing, the field is open wide. And I know I have the courage, so I push my fears aside and allow these words of truth be heard from every mountain high. I am amazing, I am amazing. There's nothing I can't do. I am amazing, I am amazing. And you're amazing too. We share a vision, we share a dream. Are you ready? Slow and steady, we are making history. 'Cause we are amazing.
All right. Wow. Welcome, everyone, to our 18th episode of The Amazing Hour, where we celebrate everyday superstars. We are live at UBN Radio on the Sunset Gower lot here in Hollywood, California. I'm Joanne O'Brien.
And I'm Sabrina Johnson.
And we are delighted that you are here to share the next hour. And as you can see, if you are a regular watcher, we've got something special in store for you because it's a different backdrop, and we're going to get to that. But Sabrina.
Well, okay. I am Sabrina Johnson, and we just want to share with you a bit about our week and our amazing highlight. And before that, I think we want to acknowledge our sponsor.
Do we want to? Should we acknowledge Vaughn first? You know what? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. We'll acknowledge Vaughn first.
Vaughn comes first.
Because
He makes this possible.
He does make us possible. I was going to lead into him, but we're going to talk about Vaughn. So we're so delighted because for the month of September, we have an incredible sponsor, and that sponsor is Vaughn Saroyans. So Vaughn is the top 1% producer internationally for Coldwell Banker. He specializes in both residential and commercial properties. In addition to being a broker, Vaughn is a real estate attorney and has been the #1 broker in his office for 4 straight years. And on top of all that, he's a super nice guy, and we love Vaughn.
We do.
So you can reach Vaughn at area code 323-497-6655. That's 323-497-6655, or at saroyans@aol.com. And that is spelled, for those of you who are listening and not looking, SAROIAN as in Nancy, S@aol.com. That's saroyans.com. So, and again, the number is 323-497-6655. And we just want to say thank you to Vaughn, and thank you for celebrating us, for celebrating the amazing human spirit and consciousness. So thanks, Vaughn. So if you're looking for a real estate agent, he's in Los Feliz. He has so much integrity, and he is loved by so many people, especially us. And if you know anyone, give him a call. And I don't know if he listened to the last show because he did not bust on me for this, but
Oh, yeah.
he's single. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Vaughn, you better watch the show because you're not going to know what I'm saying about you. All righty. So what was your amazing highlight?
My amazing highlight this week, actually, it was quite an honor. I had one of my neighbors who's just turned 7 asked me if she could interview me about as someone who does good deeds in the world. and why I do that.
What
So
a
it was
great
really cool. I
idea.
got to be interviewed. I got to be on the other side, and it was so much fun. And it was really quite an honor. So that
Well,
was
that's
yeah.
exciting.
I was going to do like the whole, like a little mini cam, but I thought no, because she was pretty. This was new for her. She was a little bit nervous, but she did a good job.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And what about for you?
Okay, well, I didn't have a middle of the road type of week, but I didn't have anything that really stood out for me. And I had a couple things I was going to say, but this is going to lead us into our guests.
Oh, good.
But okay, every time I shop, I have to try on a gazillion things before I find anything that fits. And as you know, if you've checked it out, we have a fashion designer as our guest this evening, and he brought this incredible collection of clothing behind us and said, go ahead, try something on and I can wear it on the air. And the first thing I picked out fit me.
You have to model
I
it
have
now.
to stand up.
It's so
okay.
cute.
So Kurt, you have to tell me if everyone can see this fabulous
so
design, and then we're
cute.
going to introduce him. But isn't it darling?
It is so cute.
Is it good? Yeah. Okay. There I am. I'm stepping up and down. So if you are driving in the
Turn
car
around.
or
Turn
somewhere. Oh, okay. Let me turn around.
Yeah,
You're right.
it's
You're right.
so
You're right.
Cute.
Okay. And here's the back.
It is so cute. Yes.
It's darling, and it fits, and I feel fabulous and sexy and fun. And I don't often wear yellow, so that's even better. So, we have a million things we could talk about, but I say let's just talk about our guest because we're so delighted that he's here. So, Sabrina.
Well, we found our guest in a wonderful way where a boutique that Joanne shops at had emailed her a newsletter, and she saw this highlight of this designer, one of their featured designers, and it just looked really cool when we read about him and the work that he does. He uses all recyclable clothing to make his own clothing. And it's really works of art. And then I went and did my Google search.
I know. I was like, Sabrina, look him up and see what he's about because he looks really cool.
And the Google search turned up even greater, more amazing things that he's going to talk about. And what we came to realize is that this is not really a designer; it's really an artist. Who happens
truly
to
an
design.
artist.
Yeah, who happens to design. And what got to me is that he does this custom-made clothes, and he does all sizes, including plus sizes, which I liked. And he uses all kinds of materials and all kinds of styles, and he makes everything: scarves, menswear, purses.
But there's so much
dresses.
more about our guest, and so we're going to get to tons of stuff. We can't even begin to like talk about it. We have to let him tell us all about
And
it.
so we proudly introduce Rico Adair,
Rico!
designer extraordinaire. Rico Adair, designer extraordinaire.
Yes, indeed. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
First, I have to ask you, was it weird to get some phone call out of the blue from people you didn't know saying, hey, would you be on our radio show because we think you're really great? Or does that happen often?
This is a first, I must say.
Okay, good.
As far as radio goes, but I get an occasional phone call from strangers,
Cool.
here and there.
Wonderful.
Well, you've been featured in many different media whenever you have events. Like I notice it's not just fashion, but it's like lots of different local newspapers, lots of different schools. So you get featured a lot. So I would suppose that you probably get lots of calls out of the blue from different people.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're based out of Venice, California, and that's where you were born and raised, right? And about what time? So you're a fashion designer, but you're also a fine artist, and you're a musician.
Yes. Well, I mean, I think I just use the term artist, and it just all of those things kind of fall under that umbrella.
Sure.
It's just another form of expression or another medium.
It's very fluid.
And so, when did you get the bug? When did you realize this is what I want to do? Or did it just continue to evolve? Give us a little idea of when that started.
It's continued to evolve. I had interests in it, I guess, my entire life. I like the way things look. So aesthetics are one of the first things a child really identifies with when they put on an outfit that they really like, more so than anything else. You gravitate towards that one pair of shorts or whatever. So I guess it's always been there.
And what was your So when you grew up, what was like the hot styles when you were in high school, let's say?
I've never been one for following trends.
Sure.
I mean, I guess the punk movement really inspired me because it was different. But I think a lot of the things that I was wearing were not so punk, but I could kind of express myself and dress up however I wanted, and it was kind of fun.
Well, you did talk about when we talked to you earlier about how you started by rummaging through your grandparents' garage in high school, and that you found, if I remember correctly, polyester bell bottoms.
Yes.
So that kind of gives a dated era there,
Uh-huh.
and that you tore them apart. And what did you make with them?
Oh, I would just kind of taper them with safety pins and attach zippers to them and try to make them look like bondage pants.
Well, see, and so you lived in Venice, so that was really hip and cool to be in that neighborhood now. I mean, because I'm from a much more conservative, where if you did that, if you wore really funky clothes, my parents would have been like, okay, be wary of the person wearing safety pins in their clothes. But you kind of grew up in a place where it was very trendy and hip neighborhood, I would imagine,
Well,
to express yourself, or no?
No, I would have to say it wasn't very safe. I mean, I'm from LA. I would travel and go to shows and things like that, and I would often get chased, and people would give me strange looks, and sometimes I would stop traffic.
Because you were different and
You
creative.
would get chased because you were so different. You mean?
Yeah.
Like, you mean like in high school you were bullied, or?
No, I wasn't bullied, but random people would just jump out of their cars and just chase after me.
Really?
Sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So give us an idea of something outrageous that you would have been wearing at that time that somebody might not have been comfortable with, or.
Well, my hair was different. I had dreadlocks that were shaved into a mohawk, and I would wear 20-hole Dr. Martin boots, all the way up to my knees.
Before they were hip.
Well, they were hip then. I remember that.
I don't know if hip is a word I would use. It was kind of subversive and like outside of the box, and only certain skinheads or mods or punk rockers would wear them. It wasn't really socially. You could only get them at a few different stores. I used to go to a store called Nana in Santa Monica to get my shoes. Like once a year, I'd get a pair of shoes, and that's where I'd go. And that kind of accented the outfit, but it would definitely put it over the edge.
Well, that's very interesting because I don't even know. My mind is spinning right now just thinking about when you're in high school, you have so many different things to deal with. But when you're a creative soul and you're expressing yourself creatively, I never really thought about having that as a challenge.
Yeah, the principal hated me.
Oh,
he was always like thinking I was up to no good, and I was actually a pretty good kid. I ran around with some pretty tough kids, but I was a good kid.
So what made you? What was it that like? What was it in you that desired to identify with this kind of outside the box early on?
I think it's a character that I might have been born with. It's just always been there.
Was your family supportive of your creativity?
Yes.
And your family, were they creative as well? It sounds like your grandfather kind of taught you how to rummage through things and create art out of things that people would discard.
Well, he would make things that were more functional. I don't think he knew that he was making art. But yeah, there are some creative types in my family.
Mm-hmm.
But you just kind of like, you were born with this desire to just express yourself creatively.
Mm-hmm.
And you followed it.
Yeah.
So this principal, have you run into this principal since then?
No, but I sure would love to.
Ooh, what's his name? Let's find him.
Bud Jacobs.
All right, Bud, you better watch out. We're going to find you and show you how incredibly successful Rico is. Charming, unthreatening, and clearly an upright citizen. So it's interesting. Here's a question I have for you. Was it last week that we had Anthony on, or was it the week before? 2 weeks before. No, it was, who's Elliot. We had a gentleman on who talked about the food industry. No, it was Anthony who was talking about the food industry. And he talked about how in the food industry, people really work together and they help each other. Is that a similar theme in the clothing industry, or is it more of a cutthroat? We see in film and television, it's depicted as being really catty and really mean, And is that just a stereotype and that's not really so? Or do you, as a community of fashion designers, work together? Or are you like pocketed for this is a group that works together and that's the group that's not so nice?
Well, I would have to say I haven't really been involved in the fashion industry in many, many years. But when I was in the early 90s, there was a crew. I mean, a lot of different designers hung out together, like Drew from Lip Service and Magnus from Sirius and the guys from Mondorama that were my mentors, David and Ezra. You know, we'd always go to the same functions, and when there was a trade show, we'd all go to the same parties. But I honestly hate the fashion industry, and I don't really want to have anything to do with it. So.
You really don't identify with it. You identify more as an artist.
Yes, absolutely.
So when, like you
Yay,
even said
I love
that you
that.
worked for a while, your designs were sold under Urban Outfitter, and you said you just did not want to do that anymore.
No, I did a lot with Hot Topic mainly. I
Okay.
would do stuff for them, and
And Urban.
So that's interesting because, you know, you're a fashion designer, but you're an artist, and then there's the commercial industry that's a whole other world. It's not art. It's functional, I guess, apparel to make massive amounts of money.
yeah,
Would that be appropriate way to?
sure.
It's
At
probably-
the expense usually of labor that's either free or almost
Right.
free.
Almost
you know,
free,
made by children.
So you do all the
Interesting.
own. So you do all the own.
I
the
do
sewing.
everything.
And
Yeah.
I know you're married. Does your wife help you at all with this, or?
She does help me in a lot of ways, but as far as the construction of the garments, I do that all myself.
And do you have like I'm just curious about a few basics. First of all, I believe you said your formal education as far as like design goes was a course at Trade Tech, and you attended all of 2 classes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you attended 2 classes, and then that was what you did. But how did you learn to sew?
I taught myself.
You taught yourself. And how did you learn about fitting form? I mean, look at this dress.
Yeah, it fits
And
perfectly.
It fits perfect. How did you learn that? I mean, like I watch Project Runway, and that's not an easy thing. So I know because I've been watching Project Runway for years. So that's not an easy thing. How do you do that?
Trial and error, I guess. I mean, it's a process, but I like to build things, and I like things to look pretty. So
Do you have a specific, like a couple different models that you use? People that come in and fit that are fit models for you that
that would
are
be my
your
wife.
stand. That would be your wife.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Okay, great.
And so, where do you everything you use is recyclable? Where do you find what you recycle? Because it's really cool. You have some really fun stuff and really
Well,
like.
there's
unusual.
no shortage of T-shirts. Everyone has them, and people empty out their closets every year or a couple of years, and I usually get a few bags from friends now and then.
That's
or
so great.
I go to yard sales. It's everywhere, everywhere.
So when you go to a yard sale, you're looking for a T-shirt, and yeah, Joanne might maybe want to
I'm
show
gonna
a few.
hold on. I'm talk amongst yourselves while I
Yes.
pick.
So when you go to the garage sales and you find T-shirts or something that looks really interesting, do you vision it already as how it will look, or does it just come to you as you process it, as you make it? The process just comes as you make it.
I would say both. A lot of times when I see something, I know exactly where it's going to go, but
Yes.
Sometimes-
Now look at that.
So like this. So tell me about this panel.
it was a T-shirt.
It was a T-shirt,
Uh-huh. It was given to me by a friend.
and it says on it. First of all, I love your labels.
Yes, your labels are
really
great.
great.
I make all of those myself too, one at a time.
Time. Oh my. So how long does that dress take you to make?
Um,
Everything from the beginning conception to the end.
Well,
And this says Superman on it.
finding the material and washing it, and then cutting it out, that takes a lot of time. But the cutting out part takes a while too, and then figuring out where I'm going to put what. When you factor all of that in, it takes a long time. But
So-
the actual sewing part takes me about 10 minutes.
Oh,
Oh
it takes
my
a
God,
10.
that's
So
amazing.
so then do you have like so then you can use certain patterns over again?
I have a block
Oh.
that I use, but
You have
I
to show
never
that,
really
yes.
trace it exactly so that everything is different. Maybe 2 points in that pattern will come together, and then the rest I kind of just do freehand.
Oh wow, wow.
So tell me about the. Could you remember where you got the bottom to this dress?
Yes, I do.
Because it's really fun.
That entire piece came from the scraps from a jumpsuit I did for Annabella Lewin from Bow Wow Wow.
Oh, wow.
Get out of town. I love Bow Wow Wow. Because I was thinking you needed to have something on the lead singer from,
Martha and the Vandells.
No, from the Motels. From her. And who's the lead singer of Berlin? What's her name?
Terry Nunn.
Berlin. Terry Nunn.
Terry
Is
Nunn?
that her name?
Terry
I
Nunn.
don't
Oh,
know.
yeah. But Bow Wow Wow, I loved them growing up. I still have Bow Wow Wow buttons from my denim jacket that
Nice.
I wore when I used to dye. I would spray my hair hot pink. Yeah.
So I have a question. If you made this from the jumpsuit, has she seen this dress? Would she? Oh, because she might want the rest of her dress,
Maybe
her
she
jumpsuit.
would.
She might want
She
the
owns
rest of her jumpsuit.
she owns quite a few of my pieces.
So talking about that, you do have repeat clients. You
Yes,
have
a lot.
repeat customers a lot. You have like that buy 3 or 4 pieces and they come back. Has
Some people have 30, 40, 50 pieces.
Has anyone brought you specific recyclables and asked you to use it in the specific design?
All the time. All the time. Yeah.
So they can bring you something and say, like, this is my favorite PJ, use it in some dress.
Yeah, my friend Tracy would do that all the time. She would like just empty out her closet and say, "This is all for you. Here, take this. I want this kind of dress and this kind of dress, and then I want this here and this there," and then I would take it home. And
You know what I want to do? I want to buy a bunch of Live Happy t-shirts
Oh, how cool.
and come to you and have you make me a Live Happy dress.
sure,
that
no
is
Because
problem.
I love the Live Happy movement.
That's a
Okay,
great idea.
this is a really funky, cool dress. I'm in love with this. What's the story behind this?
The story.
Is there any story? Because maybe some of it's
some
just
of
so
them,
random.
some of them have stories and some of them don't. That one is just a. There's
It's
nothing.
just cute and cool and fun, and it's got this little blue thing here and
It's an A. I usually put lots of A's in my work.
What's the A mean?
Adair.
Adair.
Yeah.
Okay. I got that. Okay. And so when you have this here, and now let's get it straight for those that hear on or hearing or listening, where you're available here in Los Angeles area. What are the boutiques? I know Singara.
Zingara on
Which is on Abbot Kinney.
Yes, and Sumiko on Main Street in Santa Monica, Ouroboros on Main Street in Santa Monica, Flasher on Melrose, Ash on Melrose,
In something like Indy.
Inda.
Inda.
That's a men's store,
Okay.
and
Do you make men's stuff?
occasionally.
Because I know those short. I got to pull them out. These cool, funky pants. I saw them on a guy on your feet.
Those are unisex.
Okay. But I'm just gonna say, ladies, if you're on a dating website, you would think twice. But they're so much fun.
I think they're really sexy on. My wife wears those a lot.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Now, does she model for you, like as far as like when you do print? Is she the model for you?
No, she actually organizes and runs most of that kind of stuff. When we do fashion shows or anything, she kind of puts everything together and she kind of just takes over.
So you clearly put a lot of your time and effort. You have a lot of history of experience. What is your price point for most of like your t-shirt dresses? What's a general price point for a t-shirt dress?
125.
125. Okay. And then what are your more pricey pieces?
500 to 700.
500 to 700. And then, okay, and I think I asked you this before. Like, are you allowed to tell us any other like music icons or anyone that have worn your pieces that we might have seen in pictures or?
I forget so much of that stuff.
I know.
It's really just not.
It's not your interest.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's fun because I look at stuff and I go, oh, that would look so cool on, because I just identify with that. And I thought, oh, we've got to get Annie Lennox to wear something or Kate Bush. You know, we picked a piece for Kate Bush. We thought she would look fabulous in.
that coat. So
And,
your most your high end pieces is be something like that coat that has like different layers in the back. So that would be your high end expensive piece. It has
Yeah.
lots of different layers to it. So I just have a question about a few things. One is, do you ever hire other people to help you other than your wife?
No.
You don't. So, and you do this all on your. Do you ever consider hiring other people, or is that just not?
Well, I have in the past, but I don't do it regularly.
And do you have your own marketing, or do you hire someone to do marketing and PR for you?
I do all that myself.
You do all of that yourself.
Wow. And so then what I am curious about is, as Joanne mentioned, we had Anthony Flynn, who is the founder of this custom-made energy bar called U-Bars. And he talked about everything being custom-made. And this is definitely custom-made. However,
Yeah, he wrote a book called Custom Nation, and it's all about customizing.
But this is totally off his grid, because his whole idea is how to be customized and still be mass-produced. And this is not mass-produced.
No.
And it's not. And so I'm just curious, like, is this something that you could ever see as being something that would creatively fulfill you and still reach a lot more women in design?
At one point, I was pursuing that, but currently, I'm not really interested in mass production.
Right. What's your main? Well, tomorrow you said you're going to go into production of something new tomorrow, right? You're going to start a new line, or just a new?
I'm going to do a bunch of pieces for the Abbot Kinney Festival, which is on Sunday, the 28th.
Yay! I'm going to the Abbot Kinney Festival. I always
Cool.
get stuff there, but I'm not on the mailing list, so I just have to find out about it by accident. So
People can go there and find your.
Yeah.
You'll have.
I'll have a booth in
booth
front
there?
of Zingara.
Okay, great.
okay, we're going. Let's go. You want to
Yeah.
go?
Yeah,
I'm going to
that's
go.
really- I
I'm
love
singing
that.
on Sunday, but we'll go afterwards. Okay,
afterwards
great.
you'll
We'll go
sing.
afterwards. Yeah. What fun. So, all right. So, how long? All right. So, how long now have you been designing clothes? About how many years?
22 years.
If you were going to have words of wisdom for anyone young and creative that really does think outside of the box, like what might you tell your younger self now?
If you don't love it, don't do it.
Okay, so clearly you love it. Have there been times where you're like, really, I should have done something different? Or have you always just been so happy and committed to this?
Even when I'm not happy with what's done outside, the creative process is a necessity for my survival.
That's just who you are. Yeah.
When you are working, what music do you listen to?
400 Blows, which was they were a local Los Angeles band, and I listened to the theme to Dune.
Oh, cool. We need to look that one up.
What else do I listen to? Cocteau Twins, just random stuff, a lot of different things.
What's your style of music? Because you said you are a musician. What's your preference? What do you like to play?
Music, anything, it depends on my mood. I'm really moody, so.
Do you do your own stuff, or do you like to do cover tunes? Do you?
I've been in several bands over the years. I've been kind of out of the loop for a while, but I'm about to put a new project together.
Have you ever had the opportunity to mentor someone younger in getting involved in fashion?
Mm-hmm.
And how was that as an experience?
It was great. She did very, very well.
And
Very
is she
well.
doing her own designs now?
She's no longer designing, but she started and did a company called Pleasure Doing Business.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a big question to ask you. Did you ever dream of going on Project Runway?
I auditioned.
Oh,
You did?
You did. Okay. Okay.
And
So-
what was that process like? Because I'll tell you about my audition for The Voice.
It was okay. It was funny.
It was just not.
Hearing Tom tell me to wow them, that was pretty funny. But
Okay.
Well, and it's fascinating because here you are already a hugely successful artist and fashion designer, and getting did you make the first cut, the second cut? Did you get on the show?
no, they I think they had already found their character for me. I mean, that I would have
Because it's
been.
really about casting characters.
Well,
Yeah.
there's nothing real on television. So
There you go. So it is an illusion, and it's not.
Yes.
None of it's real. And
And the other part of it, it just sounds to me that as much as I go, wow, Project Runway, it sounds like to me that you're really not, that's not really your where your star is?
No, I couldn't care less.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
love
sound like
that.
it. So it doesn't sound like I think because of that might have even perhaps show through because I don't think it's a talent. I think it's that you seem to have your star set. Your star is like that you really go for is much more less of this real fame and fortune and money. It seems to be more about your creative fulfillment.
Well, the money is definitely there. I mean, we have 3 children at home, so.
Oh wow,
you
you
know,
have 3 children.
Yeah.
Are any of them like artistic? What
Yeah,
ages?
all of I have 4 kids total. My
Okay.
oldest is 21,
Oh wow.
and my youngest is 8, and then I have a 10-year-old and an 11-year-old.
And are they artistic?
Yeah, they're all artistic.
Wow, that's great. That is
Wow.
great. And do they love being in your studio and watching you? And I bet it must be fun for a kid to.
Well,
watch
it's such
that.
a different, to have a parent who's totally creative, and probably you really encourage them to express themselves. And
I don't think I could stop that.
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's,
they're pretty powerful people.
that's great.
Wow.
And what do your parents think of you with all your designs and stuff? And I mean, do
I
they
think-
understand this creative process?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And do you have siblings?
No,
No.
I'm
Okay.
an only child.
You're an only child.
Well, I mean, I have half siblings from my biological father all over the world, probably.
They may be
Wow.
wearing some of your designs.
They might be.
One of my sisters does.
Does she?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so when you design these different clothes and stuff, do you ever just get something where I just want to know the process. Like maybe you're just like walking along and you see something like a tree. Do you get some idea of a design from what you see? How do you get your ideas for these designs? How do they come to you? The process of it.
In dreams
In
a lot.
dreams.
Yeah. Or just when I don't sleep a lot, so I just
Okay.
kind of lie there and meditate, and a lot of ideas come to me that way.
So you just kind of like it just kind of comes to you when you're kind of like in that half zone.
Mm-hmm.
Just wow.
Well, I want to make sure so we have a lot more to talk about, but it's our fun part of the show. So,
Yes.
okay, so listen, if you guys are in that chat room, we have a really great giveaway, and it's going to be an article of clothing, but it will depend on who calls in and
And if you can't
And-
call in, chat.
if you can't call in and or what size you are, we are going to pick it, but we need to kind of get an idea of your color scheme and whatnot. So Rico has just been so incredibly generous.
Very
So
generous.
as you know, you guys, okay. Oh, here, can you hold up the mouse pad so I can tell them the phone number? And so here's how. Okay, get a pen. 323-843-2826. That's 323-843-2826. Now here's the deal. Sometimes it's hard and you don't get through when you call in. Sometimes that happens. So if you are on a chat room, okay, and you answer the question in the chat room before the phone rings, either way, and your answer is right, we're going to honor. So I know we've got 6 people in that chat room, right? Okay.
wow.
So I don't know who's in there. I have no idea. But that's okay. Is it
There's Laura and Julie,
Laura and Julie?
and 4 anonymous ones.
And 4 anonymous. Okay, so if you're anonymous, you're going to have to let us know who you are if you call in to win. So fun. All right, Rico. So here's what we do every week. You have to ask a question, and they have to get it right. And do you know what question? Did you forget? Did you come up with a question? It's okay.
I didn't. I thought about it, but I don't remember what it was.
Do you have a good fashion question that would be like something they could Google? Maybe about the punk era, which was what was originally your inspiration, or any random question that somebody would know an answer to.
Who designed the Michael Jackson Beat It jacket?
Ooh, that's a great
The
question.
Beat It jacket? That's awesome. I did not know that. I
That's
don't
a
know the
great
answer to that.
question.
Neither
So,
do I.
oh, you don't?
Oh, I love
Excellent. So
that.
who designed the Michael Jackson Beat It jacket? And so when you call in, we will talk about what your needs are, and we'll see if we can come up with a fabulous Rico Adair design for you.
And it would help if you give us the Google link that you found it so we can verify it.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so we can verify it. All right, so this is fun. Okay, so now, so you get to ask the fun question.
Okay, the fun question is, if every time you walked into a room, a theme song played, what would that theme song be?
The Imperial March
The Imperial.
from Star Wars.
Oh my word! Love that. Wow! Wow!
That is awesome.
That is great. Do you use that for your runways?
No, but I should.
Ooh,
That
I love
is
that.
Great. I love
I
that.
love it.
That
So is
great.
anybody there? Anyone in the chat room trying to come up with an answer?
No one's answered yet, but we have more people in the chat room.
Ah, because they're trying to call in. Everybody wants a Rico Adair. I know they do.
Should we Google it ourselves? The answer?
No. We'll
Don't
come
worry.
up with it.
Okay.
Oh, Kurt's going to Google the answer. Who designed it? So
Okay,
Kurt's going to
good.
Google the answer. Okay. So
our fabulous engineer.
yes. Do you want
Yes.
to talk about Vaughn now?
I do.
We have to go back and talk about our sponsor
Yes.
because we're so excited that we have
Yes.
one.
And Vaughn, if you call in, we'll give you a dress too. Okay. Okay. Again, we don't know what he'll use it for. Okay. Anyways, again, maybe he won't be our sponsor now. Okay. Again, we want to thank our sponsor, Vaughn Soroyans.
If he gifts the dress back, he can be our sponsor.
Joanne will tell you what she wants. Okay. If you joined us late into the show, let me tell you a little bit about Vaughn. He is a top 1% producer internationally for Coldwell Banker, specializing in both residential and commercial properties. In addition to being a broker, Vaughn is a real estate attorney and has been the #1 broker in his office for the last 4 years. And on top of all that, he is a really super nice guy. You can reach out to Vaughn at area code, get a pen, 323-497-6655, or at saroyans@aol.com. That's SAROIANS@AOL.com, and that's area code 323-497-6655, or you can reach him at saroyans@aol.com. Don't call Vaughn or email him about the dress that you want. It's us.
Can you unlock that for a second so I
Yes.
can say? So we have two more little quick announcements. We're waiting for someone to call in. I mentioned something that I wanted a Live Happy dress, and I just wanted to let everybody know we love the Live Happy magazine. And so every day this week, and we've already missed 2 days of it, but you could still tune in tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. You can go to livehappy.com and be a part of the Wake Up Happy series. It started on Monday. It'll be over on Friday, and it's every single morning. And if you're in Los Angeles, we got a caller. We got a caller.
They dropped.
Oh, they dropped. Call back. Just go to livehappy.com, and it's at 7:30 in the morning, Los Angeles time, 9:30 Central time, and you get 30 minutes of interviews with New York Times bestselling authors and experts in the field of happiness and positive psychology. And so I say listen in on Friday, especially because Jeff Olson's going to be speaking, and I just think he's one of the most positive guys. Okay, next, so that's livehappy.com. Friday night, there is something that both Sabrina and I, are you going to be attending? You'll be there. We're going to what's called a labyrinth walk. It is a beautiful evening of walking the labyrinth. It's led by our dear friend Kathleen Noon, and it is a healing walk for all who need healing on any level, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. There's healers available for private sessions before and after you walk, and you can sign up for that in the lobby. It starts... hold on. It starts at 7:00 and it'll be over by 9. That's on Friday night, but then it'll be available again the next day from 11:30 till 11:30 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. And the address is 6161 Whitsett Avenue in North Hollywood. Now you can just follow us on Facebook because we're going to have all this information for you there.
And it's free.
And this is a free evening, and it is a profound, incredible experience. It's a beautiful sanctuary, phenomenal art on the walls, and just the whole place is emptied out. And
Will
you
you be
really
part of it?
Oh yeah, I'll be singing.
Yes.
I'll be toning.
Yes.
We'll have a lot of different musicians. But okay, great. We've got somebody. Who's there? We got him.
Yeah, they're on here, but they're not talking.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait. Well, you know what? I can't hear. So maybe we didn't. I can't hear them.
No, they dropped.
Oh, they dropped. Oh,
Okay.
darn it. All right. Jump in the chat room and tell us who you were. Or text me if you know me. Because if you know me, then you can text me. Go ahead, text me.
We have a Laura here that says it's HRH Afrak. That's her guess.
That's her guess.
Yeah.
And did you find it when you Googled it?
I found one site that said it is not that. But
It is not that. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. So, Laura, I know who you are, Laura. So I'm going to write that down. All right. So Laura says that. And then we'll just see who else calls in. All right. Fabulous. Well,
And
let's
Laura will look really cute in one of these
Oh,
dresses.
absolutely. So let's just get back to our interview. Um,
Before we
Yeah.
do anything, real important to me, talk about build a dress.
Oh, we got the person. Hold on. Are you there?
She's gone again.
And she's gone again. Oh, my goodness. You know what? There's solar flares going on. And so it's affecting everything. Yeah. So,
Talk about build a dress, the event you have called Build a Dress.
She's on again.
oh, is it? All right, go ahead. Who's on?
She's gone again.
Wow.
Sorry.
Okay, it's Laura.
Okay,
All
the
right,
build a
great.
dress process is when I construct these dresses, they're cut out into 8 pieces, and I will make stacks of each piece. And so a person can come and select the pieces and kind of put their own dress together, like build a bear, or you can put your own bear together. And then I sew it right there in front of them.
And you also had artists create some of this. You have an event where you had some artists paint on fabric on a conveyor belt.
Yeah, well, I made a conveyor belt out of a ladder and some other parts that I found in the alley behind my old shop. And then I had a few of my artist friends, like 2 screen printers and 1 other designer. And they printed on the pieces that people selected and then put it on the conveyor belt. And then it went to the next artist, and then they sewed a patch onto it. And then I got the finished part or the other parts, and then I sewed the dress together, and then I gave it to the person, and then they wore it down the runway.
That's such a cool thing.
Wow.
So you'll have more of these.
Yes, for sure.
That's so cool. And what do people do other than go to your boutique? But like, let's say if they want to follow you, is it Facebook? Is that where they would go?
Yeah, Facebook or Instagram or Twitter.
Instagram. Okay, that's good.
So if they're going to go to Facebook, they're going to go to Rico Adair Designs, right?
Or just Rico Adair.
Or Rico Adair. And then there was another one, Boutique and Gallery.
And
It'll all come
Yeah.
up, and you can
had
like those
another one,
pages.
actually, that you remind. I want to ask you. You had another Facebook page called Rico Adair Boutique and Subcultural Center. What was the Subcultural Center?
That was just a funny name that we gave it. That was the one that we had on Laurel Canyon. I've had 7 stores total.
In 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that one, it looked like you were teaching children how to sew.
We had classes
You
there
did.
and stuff. Uh-huh.
And do you still do that?
My wife does. My wife teaches sewing.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow, I may have to do that. I can never.
Where
forget
does she
that.
teach sewing?
At after school at a few different schools in the valley.
In the Valley. Okay.
That's great. That's a great skill.
And does she teach any adult sewing?
There's talk about that happening.
Okay. Because I'm like, I can do buttons, but like even hemming something, I'm like, I can tack it, but I don't really know. So one of the other questions I thought I would ask you is, 2 of them. One of them is, what do you read? What kind of books, what is it that you read, or do you?
Comic books.
You read comic books. Okay. All right. And then what is, you're very clearly someone who knows who you are, and you know what you love to do. And you just seem super, super grounded. What's your philosophy? Like, do you have something that or like a quote or something that kind of holds you, keeps you tethered?
Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight.
Wow.
Oh, I love that.
Beautiful.
I don't know.
Beautiful.
That's pretty much it.
Cool.
I love that, especially when people go on Facebook and they see all those punky, fun ideas. I love that you're just so true to your heart in your design, and yet you really follow that. Because there's some of your designs are just, I love it. They're like,
My best friend is typing into me from Denver because her husband went to high school with you and
Wow.
said you were an awesome performer in high school and you played punk.
Who is that?
Luis Canales.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, isn't that wild? Hi,
What's up?
Luis.
I love
Yeah, they're
that.
watching right now. So
love
in
that.
Denver.
He might win a dress. No.
She this is so up her alley.
Is it?
She's like at size 0. So yeah. Wow. All right. So if there's anything you wanted to let people know about you, about your design, about your philosophy, or about the industry, if there's something you wanted people to know, what might that be?
Wow, that was a big question.
I know. I'm really sorry. It was
It was like
loaded.
3 questions.
It was 3 questions. Okay. You can break it down or you can just freestyle that one. If there's something you really wanted people to know about you.
About me. What am I trying to say? What am I doing? I'm really just a father trying to provide for his family.
Okay.
And I'm doing it through the gifts that God gave me. And I'm not a conformist. So I'm just surviving in this country, in the climate of the way things are right now, off of the refuse of capitalism. So I have no interest in the industry at all whatsoever. I'm just surviving doing this.
5 minutes. Okay.
Laura just guessed again and got it right with Dennis Tompkins.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay, Laura.
Fabulous. All right.
All right, Laura.
Yay, Laura.
We'll have to take
Okay, so Laura, we're going to pick something out for you, but if you wouldn't mind texting me since you have my number, because I know it's Laura, it's got to be Laura Taschereau. If you can text me your color preference and your size, we would love that. So there.
I want to pick a dress for her.
Oh yeah, you can pick.
We have to show it because it's so cute. The coral one.
But she wasn't. Weren't we going to wait for her to tell us what color she likes?
Yeah, but I know Laura. The coral one. Yes, won't that look cute on her?
Yeah, but it's not her size.
Oh, it's not her size.
No, this is a small.
Oh, I
and she's
didn't know
tall.
that. Okay. I
But
didn't know
Laura, if you like this, let us know because this is really, really cute.
that. Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
But you can let us know. You can shoot us little whatever, and we'll
She does have
we'll talk
choice.
about that later because we
She
don't want
does
to
have
spend too much
choice.
time. Yeah, going over that.
She has some choice.
Yes, she does. So, yay, Laura. Laura, thank you for texting in, and I know she did try to call, and she texted me as well, and you got the answer right. And what was the answer again?
Dennis Tompkins and Michael Bush.
Dennis Tompkins and Michael Bush.
Yes.
Okay, great. So that's who designed the jacket for Beat It. All right. So, all right. So I know we have only a few more moments. I know I asked you what you want people to know about you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What inspires you? Like, what is it, the one thing that really, really, really inspires you, especially when it seems like you just sometimes feel like it's too much?
My family.
Your family. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Your kids and your wife.
Are your children iPad kids?
No.
Okay. And so I know this is like at the end of the show, but how about a little bit of your philosophy being a creative parent on how to keep your kids stimulated and active and creative in a world where it's just put on the iPad and play Angry Birds and Minecraft? And
I think that's artificial stimuli, and we'll see the no doubt detrimental results of that in the very near future.
okay, I appreciate that. And what else? Do you have anything else? I mean,
I just really
We have 1 minute.
I with your kids and everything. So you don't have all that stuff, and they must just. You said their creativity flows.
Mm-hmm.
So do you do things together as a family on creative projects?
My wife and children do things together. I'm kind of grumpy, and I need to be alone when I'm in my process.
Okay.
I mean, but sometimes we do.
Okay.
Sometimes there will be something that happens, and occasionally we play music together. And
well, I just want to applaud you
Yes.
because I saw you on that that just an e-letter, a newsletter that I got and thought, this guy seems so interesting, and you have proved that in spades.
Thank you.
And I just love hearing your philosophy and seeing somebody who truly follows their heart, follows their passion, and comes out on top. Because your stuff is really cool. It's really great. And as I love is that it's designed for women and not waifs. Not like there's anything wrong with waifs, but, I just think your stuff is beautiful, and this fits
Thank
perfectly.
you.
And I'm so grateful that you're here. Anything last you want to say to Rico?
Same thing. I just love that you do. And you are on top because you're happy.
That's the thing. You're happy.
You really show that you can't buy that. And
so
it's wonderful.
Wonderful. Well, we like to close the show. Well, first of all, we want to thank Vaughn, our sponsor again. And, yay, Vaughn Saroyan's Coldwell Banker, top 1% producer internationally, specializes in residential and commercial properties. And he's also a real estate attorney and has been the #1 broker for the last 4 years in his office. And on top of that, as we've said, he's a super nice guy. So Saroyans, SAROIANS at AOL.com. You can reach Vaughn at area code 323-497-6655. That's 323-497-6655. And if you are looking for a real estate agent or someone, he's the guy. So thank you, Vaughn. And we always end the show with saying one thing that we are grateful for. So we would love for you to start off with one thing that you're grateful for, and then we'll share.
My family.
I love that.
That's great. All right.
I'm grateful. I'm just going to put this in. I'm grateful that we have past shows you can catch on youtube.com.
Yes, we do.
I am very grateful for that, because you go to youtube.com/The Amazing Hour. That's it. No spaces, no caps, just The Amazing Hour. TheAmazingHour. youtube.com, and you can see everything up until this one, which you'll see in a few minutes.
Tomorrow for sure. And I'm grateful that Sabrina and I agree on our guests, because we throw guests back to each other, and we really sit and talk about who
I have to tell you, I have to rag on Joanne. She'll say, and what makes them amazing?
I do. I'm like, I want to know. I mean, do we really want to spend 50 minutes with this person? Oops. So we are super grateful for all of that, and we're grateful for you for listening. Yes. So thank you so very much. Tell your friends, spread it around, go to YouTube, give us a review, give us a thumbs up, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter.
Sponsor us.
Send us money. Send us gift cards. Yes. Send us birthday presents.
Yes.
My birthday's in June, but I don't mind belated presents. And you're May.
Our fine sponsors.
Fine sponsors for us.
Yes.
And that's it. So what do we want to close the show with?
Just thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
We're
you
so grateful.
much. You are amazing.
Have
everyone.
a great. I forgot to say one more thing.
Yes.
Okay, next week, you guys, it's Nita Whitaker. How could I forget to say Nita Whitaker? Nita Whitaker is a singer. She is a writer, an author, an actress, a producer, and she is a spectacular, graceful, gracious being. And you can go to NitaWhitaker.com, learn a little bit more about her. She's one of the favorites of David Foster, and we all know who David Foster is because he's made everybody famous. So tune in next week, and maybe Nita will do a couple lines of a song with me. Maybe we'll do something together.
Cool.
We'll see. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
I'm amazing. I am